No sooner did we finish recording this week's Perpetual Backlog episode, and I eventually remembered how to sleep, that the new and important news dropped concerning that darn Dungeons & Dragons game. Typical. It was also made apparent that the sources for the recent leaks were incorrect concerning a couple of things, and as I said in the episode proper, take these leaks with a grain of salt. I shall repeat, even though sources were said to be credible, we just don't know since it's not official or public. I don't think people were maliciously lying or were bad actors, but unfortunately, misinformation can spread easily. We did speculate at the end of the episode based on some of the leaks and comments, but I do personally apologize if it added to the confusion. I'm really sorry. I do intend to continue to report on the events surrounding the OGL, but I will prepare an even greater bag of salt going forward. Okay, things I want to talk about in this quick update. I say quick. 1. The official post on the D&D Beyond website, and 2. The Twitter post by Wizards of the Coast addressing the leaks directly on their D&D Beyond Twitter. I also responded to the Twitter post with a request for further clarification on a couple of points, but I'll get to that after. So, on the 18th, around 9:23 AM PDT, which is about, 2:23 AM Japan time, I was asleep. Kyle Brink, executive producer for D&D, made an official post on the D&D Beyond site saying, "Hi, I'm Kyle Brink, the executive producer on D&D. It's my team that makes the game we all play. D&D has been a huge part of my life long before I worked at Wizards and will be for a long time after I'm done. My mission, and that of the entire D&D team, is to help bring everyone the creative joy and lifelong friendships that D&D has given us. These past days and weeks have been incredibly tough for everyone. As players, fans, and stewards of the game, we can't and we won't let things continue like this. I'm here today to talk about a path forward. First though, let me start with an apology. We are sorry. We got it wrong. Our language and requirements in the draft OGL were disruptive to creators and not in support of our core goals of protecting and cultivating an inclusive play environment and limiting the OGL to tabletop RPGs. Then we compounded things by being silent for too long. We hurt fans and creators when more frequent and clear communications could have prevented so much of this. Starting now, we're going to do this a better way, more open and transparent, with our entire community of creators, with the time to iterate, to get feedback, to improve. If this sounds familiar, it's because it's how we do it for the game itself. So let's do it that way for the OGL too. We'll listen to you, and then we'll share with you what we've heard, much like we do in our Unearthed Arcana and 1D&D playtests. This will be a robust conversation before we release any future versions of the OGL. Here's what to expect. 1. On or before Friday, January 20th, we'll share new proposed OGL documentation for your review and feedback, much as we do with playtest materials. 2. After you review the proposed OGL, you will be able to fill out a quick survey, much like Unearthed Arcana playtest feedback surveys. It will ask you specific questions about the document and include open form fields to share any other feedback you have. The survey will remain open for at least 2 weeks and will give you advance notice before it closes so that everyone who wants to participate can complete the survey. Then we'll compile, analyze, react to, and present back what we've heard from you. Finally, you deserve some stability and clarity. We are committed to giving creators both input into and room to prepare for any updates to the OGL. Also, there's a ton of stuff that isn't going to be affected by an OGL update, so today, right now, we'll lay out all the areas that this conversation won't touch. Any changes to the OGL will have no impact on at least these creative efforts. Your video content. Whenever you are a commentator, streamer, podcaster, live playcast member, or other video creator on platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, you have always been covered by the Wizard fan content policy. The OGL doesn't and won't touch any of this. Your accessories for your owned content. No changes to the OGL will affect your ability to sell minis, novels, apparel, dice, and other items related to your creations, characters, and worlds. Non-published works, for instance contracted services. You use the OGL if you want to publish your works that reference 5th edition content through the SRD. That means commissioned work, paid DM services, consulting, and so on aren't affected by the OGL. Virtual tabletop content. Any updates to the OGL will still allow any creator to publish content on virtual tabletops, and will also allow virtual tabletop publishers to use OGL content on their platform. DM's Guild content. The content you release on DM's Guild is published under a community content agreement with Dungeon Masters Guild. This is not changing. Your OGL 1.0a content. Nothing will impact any content you have published under the OGL 1.0a. That will always be licensed under OGL 1.0a. Your revenue. There will be no royalty or financial reporting requirements. Your ownership of your content. You will continue to own your content with no license back requirements. That's all from me for now. You will hear again from us on or before Friday as described above, and we look forward to the conversation. Carl Brink, Executive Producer of Dungeons & Dragons. Firstly, this is finally a proper apology, so thank you Carl Brink for the post, and the promise for transparency going forward is a welcome one. Granted, this should have been the initial approach to the community's worries, but at least it seems to be the case going forward. The survey they wish to conduct is good if they show the results publicly, with people remaining anonymous, of course. The Twitter replies to the official response were very clear in their concerns for how the survey results would be treated, or even if they would be read, most expressing continuing lack of faith in Wizard of the Coast and Hasbro executives. There were still calls to keep the 1.0a OGL intact, and many refusing to believe that 1.0a would not be revoked. I hope in the following update planned for the 20th, as stated in the post, Wizard of the Coast will address these worries. Following this post, Mackenzie de Armas kindly shared their experience and typical process of reading, evaluating, and use of the survey results in the design of D&D games. Jeremy Crawford and Dan Dillon also chimed in to support Mackenzie's post. Thank you all for taking the time to share your experience. Later that day, about 5:10 p.m. PDT or 10 a.m. Japan time, a tweet was posted addressing the leaks Dungeon Scribe and D&D Shorts tweeted and YouTubed about earlier in the week. This leak was the one reporting that there would be a new tier system, $30 being the highest, and that all players, not just the DMs, would be required to sub, that homebrew would be banned at lower tiers, and finally that an AI DM could be used on D&D Beyond. The tweet on D&D Beyond's Twitter addressing these leaks reads as follows. Hey everyone, we've seen misinformation popping up and want to address it directly so we can dispel your concerns. Rumors of a $30 subscription fee are false. No one at Wizards is working on AI DMs. We love our human DMs too much. If you're looking for a DM, we suggest heading to our Discord where DMs and parties are looking for players. We have designers whose core job is to compile, analyze, and then act upon your feedback. Your feedback has made the game better over the past decade, and your feedback is central to D&D's future. And then that particular tweet on the thread shares a YouTube video expressing that kind of thing. Homebrew is core to D&D Beyond. It's not going away, and we're not going to charge you for it. Your homebrew is, and always will be yours. We've always been excited to see your creations both on and off D&D Beyond. End of thread. As was with the previous post on D&D Beyond's website concerning the OGL, the community en masse replied to the tweet sharing their feelings on the matter, many again not placing all their trust into the response. Still, many voiced that they did not want 1.0a revoked, asking that the survey results be made public, and sharing the open D&D and D&D Begone hashtags. Wizard of the Coast and Hasbro were also directly tagged in replies, hoping to stir some responses from those accounts instead. I myself, as mentioned earlier, responded to the tweet with a request for a few clarifications. Hello, I would like some further clarification on a couple of things, if that's possible. Is an increase in tier prices planned? Will all players, not just the DM, be required to have a sub? Wizard of the Coast stated that the $30 sub price was not true, which is fair. There was, in fact, a fake slide image passed around last year, first appearing on Reddit. Thank you, Kobe, for the links. I, of course, will be sharing the links in the video description for you to see yourself. I noted that though the stated $30 price was fake, there was no specific clarification about the increase in price or additional tiers, and the rumor that all players would have to sub was also not addressed. I noted that another rumor from the leak, that D&D Beyond would be used to funnel people into one D&D, and that D&D Beyond would be left to burn, was also not addressed. This was from the YouTube video comment reply on Dungeons & Discourse's video, so likely Wizard of the Coast did not see this. Reading the reply thread, I also came across a D&D Beyond user that asked about this statement. Your homebrew is and always will be yours. They realized after unsubbing that they could no longer delete the homebrew content they created on D&D Beyond. They could revise it, but the delete button on published work was gone. They provided a screenshot, and I highlighted this problem as a quote tweet direct reply to D&D Beyond, hoping to get clarification on this as well. Currently, we also cannot download PDFs of the digital books and supplements bought on D&D Beyond, and me and the guys did also talk about these concerns on this week's episode. I spotted other replies brought up this as well. Unfortunately, I haven't been given a direct response to my questions yet as of yet, but of course, there are a lot of replies on the original tweet, so I doubt I will get one. Any responses to the tweets, though, would be welcome. Please. So that's all I will be updating and discussing in this video. It is unfortunate that misinformation is spreading, as it is not productive to the overall discussion, but once again, not done out of malice, so be kind to those that were caught up in them. Also, I'd like to ask once again that the community do not harass the Wizard of the Coast and D&D staff, please. This is all out of their hands, and to direct your questions and concerns to the official posts and tweets. Of course, the hashtags OpenDND, D&D Begone, and OpenRPG have created a great opportunity for the community to have a voice and direct positive action, so keep sharing those tags. I also look forward to the next official post by Wizard of the Coast and D&D Beyond, and ultimately, we, the community, all love D&D. So I hope the companies do keep true to their word, because we want to keep playing and creating content for this awesome game. So that's it for me. I will see you next week on Perpetual Backlog. Oh yeah, and I will be sharing the links and stuff in the video description, of course. Ooh.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Uncle. It's definitely